All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with game number 2 between Sheth and Lucky. Lucky's up 1-0 right now. Let's see if Sheth can come back or if Lucky can close it out right now. We're on the Shattered Temple. Interesting pick for Mr. Sheth, but apparently he feels very confident. And 50% of the time, you're going to get positions where you are close positions by air. So it kind of facilitates a macro style of game.
I have to imagine that's what he's going for. There's not a whole lot more to this map that lends itself. Of course, in a mirror matchup, you're not looking for any kind of advantage. Maybe a build that you have worked out. But on Shattered Temple, there's a really good chance you're close air. And if you're not close air, then you're cross map. Yeah. Which, again, offers a good opportunity for, like, okay, if you're going to do that 10-pool thing, it's not going to hit nearly as fast as on a smaller map. So close air, which is what I guess you and I would probably estimate Sheth was going for here. Of course, he does have to straighten out his Overlord. This is...
Oh, no. He's going directly for that expansion, man. He doesn't care. He don't care none. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. You want to see the base. I mean, why not? It's on the freaking way, so that's...
Well, it's so unnecessary not to, right? It's like free information. Do you want to see it or not?
You're like driving past the Grand Canyon somewhere else. Pull over. Go look at that giant freaking hole. Have the experience of a lifetime, you know? Look, kids. Space.
It's a big hole.
You can tell we're not sponsored by the Grand Canyon, by the way. So if you're working for the Grand Canyon, hit us up. Would love to give that as a shout-out. How awesome would that be as a league? Thank you for tuning in. This match brought to you by the Grand Canyon, where people can go and ponder the oblivion.
Ride donkeys?
Yeah. Sometimes you can get sunburnt to all hell.
Dude, sometimes you just want to ride a donkey. Sometimes you just want to
There are so many puns. I forgot that you are the pun factory. Just sit next to you and secretly make fun of you, actually, kind of. You want to ride a donkey?
How is that?
You want to ride a donkey?
No, I'm just saying some people want to.
Right. Some people do.
Some people do.
Some people make the mistake of making fun of those people that want to ride donkeys,
I'm not talking about like bestiality at this point.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, donkeys.
Donkey. Or the other way, you could...
No, you can't.
Right. Now, Sheth and Lucky, both, again, looking down on each other. Just in terms of games, guys, here, I'm sure they're peers. Sheth and Lucky, if you look at that production tab, doing about the same thing. Both are different by margins of tiny factors. And Lucky is ahead by a drone, but it's like a fraction of a drone. It's like a half drone. It's a mutant drone because Sheth's drones are coming out just behind it. Now, from here, I mean, this actually makes me sad because in Brood War, I was a Zerg player. And if you got close air positions like on Lost Temple or some of these other maps and you were doing ZVZ, there were games where we built 5 hatcheries before a spawning pool. And it was because the first guy to make a spawning pool was disadvantaged. Now, of course, in StarCraft 2, that's not quite the same way because of the Queen. The Queen ruins everything. She spits all over those hatcheries and makes it so that actually the faster you get a Queen out, kind of the better off you are.
Yeah, would it be? Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree. Still, there are tiny margins where, you know, it's still good to delay that spawning pool, get out that extra drone, even though it's like maybe 10 minerals or so. It still is worth it. StarCraft, it's funny. It's that game of inches, and not necessarily like you can't say, oh, this particular move gave a huge advantage. It's like all these little things that build up to that monstrous advantage that we see a lot of times. And especially in these top-level games, that's a lot of times what you see making the difference.
Right. Now, Lucky is going to go ahead and run past that Queen. A lot of people might look at that and say, what are you guys doing? You're just going to die. What they're actually doing is for the low cost of 50 minerals, they're scouting out exactly what Sheth is doing. So, of course, an Overlord cannot be here now, as the Queens will throw stones at it and knock it out of the sky. But seeing that early Baneley nest is a very nice thing for Lucky, because as you can see, he's not building a Baneley nest for himself. So basically he's saying, okay, I'm going to sit on my Spine Crawler and a couple of Queens, and the Lings I produce are going to hold off your potential Baneling attack. But if those are defensive Banelings, then I'm just going to come out ahead. That's just the way it works.
Well, he is making actually a ton of Zerglings. There were 18 in queue beforehand. Now, Sheth is going to get in here. Metabolic Boost is finished for both these players. Wow, Sheth sees a money pop out of all those Zerglings. So you should know Banelings immediately. Roachhorn is on the way. So he knows this could be continued aggression. Actually, it very well may be continued aggression because we have Gasping Mind and no Baneling Nest on the field.
The Lings pull in, see the Banelings, and they're like, nope. Don't want anything to do with that.
Nice trade.
Gonna pull away. Now, the nice thing about this is if Lucky was potentially going to be aggressive, just by making the Lings when he did, I feel like he puts Sheth on that back foot. Now Sheth's defensive. So again, just being able to go straight to Roachborn, which is the tech you're going to make anyways. You only make Banelings if you potentially want to do damage or defend against damage. If you can skip that tech justifiably so, then you're actually being more cost effective, and that's translating to supply. Look at what Lucky's doing. He's at 58 supply. Income tab shows that he is behind 13 Harvesters. So again, Sheth is in danger of making that same mistake he made last game, Gretorp.
Yeah, it's those roaches that are so scary, and he did scout out that roach horn, so I'm not sure why we haven't seen a faster roach horn, but we do have additional spine crawlers. No, I'm sorry. It's a roach horn and an evolution chamber. Kind of interesting. I don't know why he's actually delayed that for so long, but
Lucky's walking across the map, and he's made a ton of units, Gretorp, as well as Baneling Nest here, and the Baneling Nest is going to finish either just... Oh, the Banelings come out. They're trying to intercept, but they're not going to. And now, having not killed the Zerglings, they're going to run the risk of being sniped by these roaches, but Lucky's going to go for it. Lings pushing in. They're going to try to run past. There are some Lings to meet them there. Banelings having a tough time connecting. And now it's these roaches against Lings and Queens, and you're lucky. You got to be happy with this pairing right now.
Yeah, spine crawlers are just so close to finishing. You can see one spine crawler in the back over here that is all finished and just headbutting away on these roaches. The roaches do look like they're diminishing in count, but they still remain. They're doing a lot of damage. Drones have to be pulled off the line. Sheth is still ahead in supply, and the second spine crawler is going to finish up here. So he's able to stabilize. I can't believe that, man.
He did stabilize. He is just down to the one queen, but his positioning is so strong. 2 spine crawlers. He even has a little bit of a Sim City, which of course is not as big of a deal against roaches. And if you look at that production tab, Lucky has lost faith in his push. He's got drones going up behind this as well as an evolution chamber. So I believe all these units out here are kind of like for perception. But if he, he's going to push with it. I don't like that choice at all. Sees the huge group of roaches for Sheth and starts to make more roaches of his own, but I gotta believe that's just in case Sheth pushes, because right now Lucky cannot attack that position.
That's absolutely correct. I think he's expecting his opponent to push out right now, knowing that he has a big advantage. But unfortunately for him, Sheth is actually going up to layer tech, droning up, just getting his upgrades, his core upgrades, which are the +1, the Glue Reconstitution. And once he actually establishes that, then he's probably going to take a third, things like that, extend his lead, because the Harvester count is heavily in favor of Sheth.
And the nice thing about Sheth having defended that attack using his position is he's actually still mixing in units and drones. So it's not like he's giving Lucky an opportunity. This is, if there was an opportunity, this is it. Lings are going to do a big counterattack, but there's actually Banelings here waiting. And I think the scouting ahead from Lucky did spot that, so in fact he's going to go ahead and abandon that idea. Now Sheth is the big kid on the playground, pushing around, looking for the Zerglings, looking for free kills. And the other nice thing here too is it should be intimidating Lucky, but Lucky being behind is actually going to take a risk here. So you can see he's actually producing drones when any other Zerg would just be producing units, because they're like, oh my gosh, what if he attacks now, I'm dead. But Lucky realizes that if he doesn't make drones, he's dead anyway, so he's taking that risk.
And I like that Sheth is actually going to do this +1 timing. I think it's actually better than expanding. So
yeah,
kudos to Sheth. He's going to come in here, and these roaches.
There's that link counter too at the same time. Baneling's connecting with roaches at that spot. Not sure that's the right choice. Meanwhile, the link counters killed both the queens, and is now going to work on the drones. If Lucky can hold this off, he might actually be in a huge position, but that's a huge if, Gretorp, as his roaches do not have +1. Baneling connects to the drones. And meanwhile, inside Sheth's base, he has stabilized. I think a lot of drones have been retained. If you look at that income tab lost, Sheth still ahead by a lot. And there's the GG. Sheth does not only hold off the attack, but proves that his timing was just too strong.
Yeah, that +1 attack definitely helps out when you're Roach versus Roach. It's so tiny, but actually goes a long way. Along with that, Zerglings basically do no damage because you can two-shot them with those Roaches. It gives a lot more sustainability to that Roach attack. And when his opponent doesn't have Roaches, obviously your Zerglings supercharge, his Zerglings suck, and you can get a lot of kills off of that.
So this is going to be the day of best of threes to the truest extent. I mean, Sheth now pushing it to game number 3 against Lucky, holding off that attack, proving to be the player making the better decisions, at least in that game. What map will Lucky pick? Will he win, as has been the tradition in this 2-game set so far? We'll have to wait and see after this break, guys.